From Kotaku, the one and only 15 hours with Hogwarts Legacy, magical surface, rotten core. Okay, Kotaku. The discourse around the Harry Potter game has encompassed J.K. Rowling's rancid politics and the role of criticism itself. Okay, sure. Now, I'm actually about 30 hours into Hogwarts Legacy. That said, a lot of my hours are literally just chilling, walking around, enjoying the scenery. So I don't know like where this person at 15 hours is compared to where I'm at around 30. Realistically, I think I'm at like 28 hours right now. Hold up, I'll pull up the actual Steam metrics. Oh wow, okay, no, I am 30.3 hours in Hogwarts Legacy at the moment. All right, so I thought it'd be fun to run through this review from Kotaku and talk about my opinion on it and my experiences in the game so far, and if I agree or disagree with Kotaku. From Caroline Pate, Hogwarts Legacy is here. It's a rival surrounded by more brutal blasts of discourse than there are bursts of bat, bogey, hexes flying around the Slytherin common room. Yeah, but not Hogsmeade. Go to Hogsmeade, you see a bunch of bats flying around there and spells and whatnot. I'm kind of kidding. Continuing. The conversation around the open-world action-adventure game, which seeks to provide players with the immersive fantasy of actually attending the storied school of magic from the Harry Potter universe, largely stems from the fact that the universe's creator, J.K. Rowling, is a virulent transphobe, using the platform afforded her by her fame and wealth to normalize the othering of trans people and contributing prominently, to a culture in which anti-trans sentiment, legislation, and violence are on the rise. However, the conversation doesn't start in there. When are we going to talk about the game? I came here to talk about Hogwarts Legacy, not her. I'm skipping this. Harry Potter and me, I don't care. Don't care about you and Harry Potter. What's your opinion on Hogwarts Legacy? Okay, here we go. Finally, the game. The first thing you do in Hogwarts Legacy is create and name your character. So I created just the person I'd want to be if I were a British youngster being whisked off to grand adventures at a school of magic. I named her Emily Endcott, I think, and gave her the kind of short androgynous haircut that I sometimes wish I could pull off in real life without making myself that much more likely to be misgendered. Let's skip down to where the author talks about goblins, because I actually just did the quest they're about to talk about the other night, and I thought it was pretty wholesome. It seems like they're upset by it, though. Let's read. Early in Hogwarts Legacy, I meet a goblin named Aaron, whose carts have been stolen by Ranrock's loyalists after they peg him as a goblin who's not sympathetic enough to the cause. He functions as a kind of mouthpiece for the game's awful moral stance. Wait, what? He says, many of us would like a diplomatic end to the discord with wizard kind. And while I don't think violence is generally the way for oppressed groups to seek liberation, I also know that asking nicely definitely isn't. That power concedes nothing without a demand. Wait, the goblins aren't, like, oppressed, though. At least so far in game, they haven't shown that goblins are oppressed, to me at least. Again, I'm 30.3 hours in, but it does sound like this person's further along in the main quest than I am, so maybe I'm missing something. But as it stands right now, where I'm at, it literally looks like the goblins were living coexisting peacefully with wizards. Like, both groups were successfully living together and having like good quality of life. So yeah, I don't really know what they're talking about here. But again, that could be because I'm not far enough in the game yet. The author says, later, after I help return his stolen cards, Aaron, who is a painter, says, Ranrockslot called me a fool for believing in the good and wizard kind. Thank you for proving them wrong. You know, you've inspired me. I've been dealing with witches and wizards for years now, and we've always gotten along just fine. Perhaps my next piece will be a tribute to all that is good between us. See, I thought that was wholesome. I was like, oh, that's a good quest. This guy was getting radicalized by this extremist group, and then, he saw the good in people, and now he's, starting to, want to keep on the kind route, the nice non-extremist route. That seems like good to me, but I guess this person disagrees. Let's see what they say. The way this mentality erases the systematic issue of how goblins are discriminated against by wizards. Wait, but like you haven't shown the discrimination though. Like, what are you talking about? Again, maybe it happens in game, but I wish they would at least show examples of that in this article if it's true. Then again, it might be a spoiler. Maybe that's why they're not. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt. Let's keep reading. If an individual cis person is nice to me, I'm not going to dismiss the reality that transphobia exists and create some work that speaks to the good between trans and cis people. No, I want cis people to do nothing less than collectively work to dismantle transphobia, just as I want white people to collectively be traitors to the social construct of whiteness and dismantle white supremacy, just as I want every group that benefits from an existing oppressive system to dismantle that system. Holy smokes. Have you considered going outside by any chance, like breathing fresh air? Have you considered looking at the beautiful blue sky? What Aaron is effectively saying here is that it's okay that wizards systematically keep goblins on a lower rung of society because, hey, he gets along okay with wizards like you. I don't necessarily expect the narrative of Hogwarts Legacy to be about your character taking up the righteous cause of dismantling these oppressions, but I expect it to acknowledge and foreground that the real problem is that they exist in the first place, not that someone may be going too far in an effort to undo them. Well, now, extremism is bad either direction. It leads to conflict, which often results in, like, massive loss of life and human tragedy. So And I'll also add to the point too, because if you take an extremist stance, that often causes the other side that you're opposing to then therefore also radicalize further and take an even more extreme stance. You can see how this quickly spirals out of control and causes a lot of innocent people to get caught up in the middle. It's not good. It's Rowling's world. We're just living in it. Nah, screw that. I'm the protagonist. This is my world. I spent $60 on this game. You're out of your dang mind. You think I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy and I'm thinking J.K. Rowling the whole time. Nah, I'm thinking my protagonist is freaking awesome. I'm going to go to this poacher camp and I'm going to destroy these fools. I'm going to go free a bunch of beasts. Then I'm going to go to Hogwarts and I'm going to take a potions class. Like, you got the wrong idea if you think I'm just constantly thinking of J.K. Rowling when I play this game. Absolutely not the case at all. The author, however, says, but again, this is Rowling's world, a world where protecting the status quo is noble. Where, what? I feel like a lot of these talking points are just pulled out of the freaking Sorting Hat or something. I don't even feel like I'm protecting the status quo in this game. It feels like we're up against the status quo because we're not listening to the headmaster or the Ministry of Magic. Like, the main character and the dude he's like working with, the teacher guy. I'm trying not to spoil people, but like, you know, I probably could say the name, it's fine, but whatever. Like, you're kind of just doing your own thing in secrecy. Like, which even undermines the Ministry of Magic in a way, which is like the governing body, so to speak. I don't understand their points at all, man. Well, except this point. I actually do agree with them on the point about the black dude being named Shacklebolt, because that does seem like a bad move. Like, I don't know what she was thinking with that name. Where maybe one house elf every now and then can get her freedom as a treat, but where the real bad guys are the goblins or trans people demanding equality and liberation from those who oppress them with all the power of money and institutions and entrenched social prejudices behind them, resulting in those oppressors needing to be defended. Yeah, you know, in a general statement, it sucks that there are people that want to oppress others. Let's not pretend that there aren't very powerful people and organizations with a lot of power and money supporting trans rights, though. This awareness has drained all the magic from the world of Hogwarts Legacy for me. It's short-sighted, it's centrist. It's crushingly ordinary, the same way that forces like racism and transphobia are the most ordinary, tiresome things in the world. That's an interesting way of describing such things. I knew that Hogwarts Legacy was going to be a hit. I knew it would sell bajillions of copies, that people who claimed to be committed to the cause of trans rights would still gladly buy their $70 ticket to the virtual amusement park that J.K. Rowling built, all while muttering their mealy-mouthed excuses about how there's no ethical consumption or capitalism. It's rather funny seeing the author complain about that because the author comes off so far as someone who's left-leaning, at the very least. This is generally like a left-leaning anti-capitalist talking point, so now they don't like this talking point because it's going in a direction that's against their rhetoric or something. It's kind of funny. For anyone new to my videos, I don't want you getting the wrong idea. Like, if you're new and you haven't heard me talk about my political beliefs before, which, to be fair, I don't talk about them very much at all. It's not the point of my channel. But some people may take that as me, like, taking some jab at the left, so I'm, like, on the right. I hate how tribalist things are. That's not the case at all. I'm not on the right. I'm not a centrist. I'm not on the left. I just pointed that out because it is funny. And like I said way earlier in the video, extremism on either side is a very dangerous thing, and often extremism spawns extremism. So yeah, I'll leave it there, I suppose. You get the points. Not much else to say. I think we probably talked more about JK and all that than Hogwarts Legacy after all. Guess that is just how it is, eh? But yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I'll probably have another segment coming out today if you want to see me in that segment. I'll hope to catch you there too. I'll see you in the comments of this one and perhaps in that one. Thank you and see you then.